Welcome to the True Wealth Investors Real Estate Podcast. Creative investing strategies to help you build true wealth. I'm your host, Chad Harris. All right, welcome everybody. I am glad you are here today. As always, I appreciate you joining me. Hope it helps you. Today we are talking about private money. And most of the people I see who have been able to attain a lot of success in real estate quickly, they figured out how to raise money from private lenders, because when they leverage that private money, they're able to scale their business very quickly. One case in point was episode 139 with Randy Shelley, where he used private money for his flipping business. Once he shut down his flipping business, he transitioned and used the same private money to build a hard money lending business. All right, so today we're going to talk about 3 key benefits of private money, why we need to learn how to use private money, and also 3 myths about private money lenders. And these are things that I believed incorrectly when I started raising money. And once I recognized these 3 myths, I restructured the investments that I offered, and I was able to raise more money much quicker. So these are going to really help you out. As always, if you appreciate this content, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, and share with somebody else who you think might benefit from this episode. So my goal is to help more people find success in real estate, and by subscribing and leaving ratings and reviews and sharing with friends, that just helps us reach more people. All right, so I appreciate your help on that. Okay, so 3 benefits of private money. And just so we're all on the same page, when we're talking about raising money from private lenders, that is where we get a loan from an individual to fund our real estate deal. And that loan is structured just like it is with a bank. And so that individual becomes the bank in our real estate deals. Now, I am not generally talking about a hard money lender or a professional lender who has a business in lending money, and they provide the terms, they dictate what the interest rate is and how soon it'll be repaid back. They provide all the documents. That's not who I'm talking about here. When I'm talking about a private lender, I'm talking about someone who invests in the stock market or invests in other assets. They're used to comparing investments, but they don't know really how to get into real estate. And so when we offer for them to be a lender in our deals, that is a good way for them to get into real estate. When we present that opportunity, we are the ones who dictate how much interest we pay, how long the term of the loan is. We provide the documents. And so they are comparing the investment opportunity we offer to other investment opportunities they have, and they're going to recognize how it's beneficial to them. Okay, so that's our private lender. That's what I'm talking about specifically. And if you listen to this right now and you think, well, I don't know anybody like that. Well, nobody really knows anybody like that, because most of our private lenders don't know they are that, right? Most of our private lenders don't know they can be a lender in real estate. It's going to take us explaining to them how they can do that and what that opportunity is for them to recognize it. And in reality, when we start talking to people in our current network and even growing our network to meet other similar individuals, I know you'll be amazed, as I was amazed when I started doing it, how many people are looking for this opportunity. They're already invested in other things. They have the money in some other investment, or sitting on the side waiting for an investment. And they're very excited when we present the opportunity. So I encourage you, you do know these people. They are in your network in some form or another. And even if you are that ultra rare individual that doesn't know anyone that fits kind of our specific private lender that we're dealing with, there are very easy ways to grow your network so that you meet them. Okay. That part is not hard. All right. So, three benefits why you really need to do this and why this will greatly help your business. First benefit is you can buy distressed properties. So, there are many properties that won't qualify for traditional financing, and you can fully fund that deal, right? That ugly beat up house that nobody can live in, that we're going to turn into a great flip deal, or we're going to do a BRRRR strategy where we're going to buy it, rehab it, rent it, and refinance it. Either one of those, we can fully fund that deal with private money, even though it wouldn't qualify for traditional financing. Now, a lot of people, those distressed properties, they use hard money. A lot of flippers use hard money. The problem is that hard money lenders require you to have, or us as the borrower, to have a lot of skin in the game and to put a lot of our own money in the deal. And the reason for that is so that it puts the risk onto us as the borrower, right? And with hard money lenders, there is this us against you mentality where they're going to put all of the risk onto the borrower. And if we beg, borrow, and plead for their money, they will allow us to take all of the risk and they'll lend us some money. That's not at all the perspective with a private lender. With a private lender, we are in this together. And we're going to structure the deal not so that the risk is put on any one person or the other, but so that we reduce risk for everyone. Totally different perspective. Okay. So we can buy distressed properties using a private money lender and not have to have our own money in the deal. That is a huge benefit. That's a key to scaling our business, right? If you don't need money to buy your next deal, obviously you can buy more deals. If every private lender you find, you can go buy another house and recycle that. Every time you flip the house or refinance the house, you don't need that many private lenders to scale your business. All right, so that's benefit number one. Another benefit is you close quickly. So a lot of deals right now are coming through wholesalers where the wholesaler won't give you time to close with a traditional lender. You either need to have cash lined up or a private lender so that you can close within a few days, right? A lot of times, the best deals are where you're dealing directly with the seller. They have some motivation that is not money. They have this problem, they need it solved, and a lot of times they need it solved quickly. So, the classic example of this was a house we bought a few years back where the guy was moving out of state for a new job. He was starting his new job in 7 days, and he needed the money from the sale of the house to move. I believe it was North Carolina that he was moving to. And so he wasn't as concerned about the price that he got for the house as his primary concern was that he got enough money within 7 days to move. And if we find sellers who their primary motivation isn't money and ours is, then we can get a good deal where both people are happy. Now, that deal I could only do because we had private lenders lined up. And so we could fund the deal immediately and close as soon as the title work was done with the title company. So that's a huge benefit. That's where you'll get really good deals. And those really good deals are rare. We want to make sure we have private money available when we find one. The third benefit is there are no closing costs. So if we fund the deal with a private lender, then that private lender will fund the closing just like a bank, but there are no closing costs associated with that. So the private lender is not charging points, they're not charging origination fees, they're not charging doc fees, anything like that. And so, one, we get into the deal cheaper, but two, let's say interest rates right now are fairly high, or at least higher than they have been. We expect interest rates to go down in the coming months because the Fed has said that they will lower interest rates in the coming months. And so we have a great opportunity where we can buy properties. We can have very cheap financing with our private money lenders. We can do interest only. We can do low interest rates. And we only have to have that for a year or 2 years so that as the interest rates with traditional financing fall, we can refinance it. And there is no cost with our upfront financing from the private lender. There's no origination fees. So typically, if you get a loan with origination fees, it really doesn't make sense to refinance that loan for 5 years or so because the fees are so high. But with private money, we can originate that loan without any cost. And 1 year later, we can refinance it out. And it's a great deal, right? And that 1 year interest rates have dropped. We have locked in a great deal when it's available. And so that is a massive benefit. So I hope you see there are really big benefits to raising money from private lenders. It is not a difficult concept or process, but it does take the correct perspective, and we have to be able to talk to them correctly and present the opportunity correctly so that they recognize it as beneficial to them. And we shouldn't be reluctant. That's the right word, reluctant, because a lot of people end up being reluctant to talk to those around them about funding their deals because they feel like they're asking for money. But we should never be reluctant to talk to people because we are not asking for money. We're presenting an opportunity that they desire. They already have this need. They're looking for an investment where they aren't risking all their principal in the stock market and where they can get a decent return and where the principal, their actual money invested, isn't fluctuating daily when they watch the news, and that it's secured by real property. All of these things they desire already. They just don't know how to get an investment like that. And so we never have to ask for money. We're just presenting opportunity. Okay. So before we wrap it up here, we're also covering 3 myths about private lenders. And these are 3 things that I completely misunderstood from the beginning and I learned the hard way. So you get the benefit of not going through it and learning the hard way. You get to know right off the bat. Here's 3 quick myths. One, I thought that lenders wanted paid back right away. And so when I started, I structured loans so that they got paid back quickly. Really short amortizations, 4 year amortizations, 5 year amortizations. The loan payments were really high. And I thought that was good because they would get their money back. Well, what I learned was that they are comparing these investments to a stock or a mutual fund or something like that, where they don't want the money back. What they want is a return on their money. And so they actually prefer to leave their money invested and get a return on their money. And that has a lot of benefits for us as well when we structure our deals to look more like what they want. Okay, but the focus is always on them. So that's what they prefer. They prefer to leave their money invested and get a continual return on their money, which is an interest only payment on the loan. Number two, 4 myths was I thought that they wanted a high interest rate. And this seems natural as real estate investors. We're always trying to get a higher return on our money. But in actuality, most private lenders who are comparing investments to stock type investments, they see a higher return as a higher risk. And so if we present an opportunity with a lower return, that equates to lower risk. And in reality, it is lower risk. So as our payment is lowered, and that payment is lowered by interest rate, so if we are only paying 6% interest, that makes our payment lower. If we're paying interest only instead of an amortized payment, that makes our payment lower. And the lower our payment is, the lower that risk is, because we have a much easier time making the payment if it's low, right? We can have issues happen with our flip deal or our rental, and the margin for error is much bigger because our payment is low. So that's beneficial to them as well as us, but it's beneficial to them, and they see it as lower risk, which is what they're really after. All right. And then another myth is that I thought when I started, and I hear this all the time from people wanting to raise money from private lenders, there is this myth that the lenders only care about the return. And so, because we have this belief, we automatically start pitching our opportunity with the interest rate we'll pay. And that's not at all the truth. Okay. So, interest rate is really the final consideration. When we are presenting to our potential lender interest rates, the last thing we're going to talk about. What they really care about is one, that the loan is secured by real estate. And so, the worst case scenario, us as the borrower can sell the property and they get their money back. They aren't going to lose money in the deal. There is real property securing the deal. That's one thing they care about. The second thing they care about is they want to be a part of something bigger, right? It's not a us versus them like a hard money lender. It's we're in this together. And so, us being in this together, we need to have a vision for what we're doing that is bigger than just making money, right? Are we improving neighborhoods? Are we helping local families? Are we helping sellers who are behind on payments or have a distressed property? What is it we're doing, and how does it impact our community? And lenders want to be a part of that. They want to not only get a return on their money, but be making a difference in their community. So don't keep the vision out and just focus on the numbers. You're going to lose a whole bunch of potential lenders that want to be involved in what you're doing. All right. So I hope these benefits and myths help you. I hope that helps give you the right perspective. If you recognize that you really need to improve your private money game and you would like to really know the system for how to raise private money, we have accelerators, 6-week group coaching programs starting regularly. There's one starting here very shortly. You can reach out to me, chad@truewealthinvestors.com, or go to the website, truewealthinvestors.com, and find more information, because we will walk through the process together in those accelerators. And most people who join have their deals funded before the end of the 6 weeks. If you want to have a deal funded by a private lender shortly, join the accelerator. I hope to see you soon. You can always find more notes from the show and more resources at truewealthinvestors.com. And until then, I'll catch you next week. As always, keep building your dream life one door at a time. We are adding new episodes every week, so make sure and subscribe and check out all of our content at truewealthinvestors.com.